There are moments in life when everything familiar collapses at once, leaving behind silence where certainty used to be. For one Dutch traveler, that moment did not lead to retreat or stillness. It led to motion. Her journey into the world of long-distance motorcycle travel began not as a dream of adventure, but as an escape from emotional collapse. What followed was a transformation shaped by heartbreak, isolation, resilience, and the raw unpredictability of life on the road. Riding alone across continents became more than travel. It became survival, focus, and a way to rebuild identity mile by mile. The life before everything broke. Before the road ever entered the picture, she lived what most would call a stable, even ideal life. She worked as a geologist in the Netherlands, had a steady income, a home, and a long-term relationship. From the outside, everything looked secure and carefully built. Yet stability can sometimes hide fragility. Beneath the surface of routine and comfort, her personal world was about to fracture in a way she could not anticipate. The life she believed in was quietly unraveling, setting the stage for a collapse that would change everything she thought she knew about trust and permanence. The discovery that destroyed normality. The turning point came with a revelation that shattered her emotional foundation. She discovered that her long-term partner had been living a double life, carrying on an affair that stretched far beyond a momentary mistake. It was not confusion or misunderstanding. It was betrayal sustained over time. The impact was immediate and disorienting. The home she shared became unbearable, every object tied to memories that now felt contaminated. What had once been comfort turned into confinement. In a matter of days, her sense of identity, future, and emotional safety dissolved completely, leaving her in a state of psychological free fall. Choosing departure over collapse. Rather than remaining in the environment that magnified her pain, she made a drastic decision. She sold nearly everything she owned, stepped away from her job, and disconnected from the structure of her former life. There was no long-term strategy or carefully designed plan. The decision was impulsive, driven by emotional necessity rather than logic. She chose distance as a form of healing, believing that physical separation might quiet the internal chaos. With limited preparation but absolute determination, she set her sights on leaving the Netherlands entirely, searching for space where memory could not follow so easily. Arrival in India and the first motorcycle. Her journey led her to India, a country overwhelming in scale, sound, and unpredictability. It was here that she encountered motorcycle travel in its most raw form. She rented a Royal Enfield Himalayan, a heavy and rugged machine built for endurance rather than comfort. At first, riding was not about passion, it was about movement. The chaos of traffic, the intensity of the environment, and the demand for constant awareness forced her mind into the present moment. In that focus, something shifted. The act of riding became grounding, replacing emotional noise with mechanical clarity and survival instinct. From simple travel to an unexpected audience. What began as personal movement slowly evolved into documentation. Initially, she recorded her travels simply to reassure friends and family of her safety. There was no ambition to build an audience or create a public identity. However, as the journeys continued, the combination of remote landscapes, difficult routes, and solo exploration began to attract attention. Without planning it, she had begun sharing a form of storytelling through experience. Her travels expanded beyond India, stretching into multiple countries and eventually forming a continuous path across continents, all driven by curiosity and endurance rather than fame. Crossing continents on two wheels. Her motorcycle journeys eventually grew into vast, multi-country expeditions, spanning deserts, mountains, jungles, and remote borderlands. She crossed dozens of countries, navigating terrain that tested both physical stamina and mental resilience. Mechanical failures, harsh weather, and unpredictable political landscapes became routine challenges. Each day demanded problem-solving and adaptability. The road was not romantic, it was demanding, often exhausting, and occasionally dangerous. Yet within that difficulty lay clarity. Life was reduced to immediate needs: fuel, direction, safety, and movement. Everything unnecessary fell away, leaving only the essentials of survival and presence. The road as a form of mental survival. Riding long distances alone became more than exploration. It became psychological refuge. The constant requirement to focus on terrain, navigation, and machine performance left little space for intrusive memories or emotional spirals. In motion, there was structure. In challenge, there was purpose. The unpredictability of the road forced a kind of honesty. There was no room for distraction, only response. While others might view such isolation as extreme, for her it provided a rare form of mental quiet. The engine, the road, and the horizon became a substitute for the stability she had lost. Africa and the unforgiving turn of events. During a later stage of her journey across Africa, the environment shifted from challenging to dangerous. While riding through remote regions in Tanzania near the approach to Mount Kilimanjaro, weather conditions deteriorated rapidly. Rain turned dirt roads into unstable surfaces, and visibility dropped as fog rolled through the landscape. Alone on her motorcycle, she encountered a sudden accident that ended in a severe crash. The impact caused serious physical injuries, including damage to her collarbone and fractures in her neck vertebrae. In that moment, the journey transformed from adventure into survival. Isolation, injury, and the fight to be found. Lying on the ground in pain and uncertainty, she faced one of the most dangerous aspects of solo travel: complete isolation. With limited cell reception, immediate help was not guaranteed. Movement was difficult, and every attempt to assess her condition revealed the seriousness of the situation. Time passed slowly, marked only by discomfort and uncertainty. Eventually, assistance arrived through a passing stranger, and emergency support was coordinated. The journey, at least for that moment, came to a forced halt. What had been motion and freedom became stillness and recovery. Conclusion: the cost and meaning of leaving everything behind. Her story is not simply about motorcycle travel or extreme adventure. It is about how human beings respond when the structure of their lives collapses. Some retreat inward, while others move outward, searching for meaning in unfamiliar places. Her journey demonstrates both the power and the cost of choosing motion over stagnation. Every mile carried both liberation and risk, clarity and consequence. In the end, the road did not erase the past, but it reshaped her relationship with it. The question it leaves behind is not about travel, but about what people are willing to endure in order to keep moving forward.